Tanguy with Plantronics. Did I say that right?
You said it right, Tanguy from Plantronics.
Awesome. Thought I was going to mess it up. So what exactly is Plantronics?
So Plantronics is really the pioneer when it comes to wearable technology. It's 52 years we've been in the wearable space.
Wow, pioneers for sure.
It started with headsets. I mean, we are definitely very well known for headsets, but we've recently moved the headsets way beyond the audio dimension and started to add a lot of intelligence, a lot of smart capabilities to those headsets.
So exactly what kind of smart capabilities are in these headsets now?
So a few very captivating things. One of them is when you look at a typical headset like this Voyager Legend, which is one of our premium mobile communication headsets, you might not notice it, but it already has a certain number of sensors. Those capacitive sensors are actually tracking information that help you track telephony state, proximity state, or wearing state even. And all of that information is information we've been using to actually improve communication and productivity experiences for our users.
So how are you using that information to improve it? What have you done to improve the experience using that data?
So one of the things here, which might sound very simple, but which is actually based based on these sensors, is if you receive an incoming call, you actually kind of have this device detecting whether you're wearing it or not. If I'm not wearing it, it's going to route the call to my smartphone. If I'm wearing it, it's going to give me a prompt saying, hey, you have an incoming call from Virginie. Do you want to take this call or not? So it's already kind of getting to the next level of intelligence, if I may say.
Okay.
And there are many other examples from proximity to telephony state that we definitely helped kind of turn into real life.
So you're using basically Bluetooth as your genre of wearables, and you've been in this space for 50-something years. Where do you think the next step is for your company? Where do you think wearables are going for you?
So one of the next step is actually related to those famous sensors. I mean, more and more we can see that new categories of sensors, more sophisticated sensors are going to be made available. And that's where we've realized that we needed help. And we've recently opened PLT Labs, which is actually our service or site for developer communities to actually give developers access to the APIs and publish SDKs for them to develop from our own platforms using the capabilities of these sensors, but also putting in their hands some prototypes that have way more sophisticated sensors than the ones we have in our standard or commercial versions.
So what kind of things are these developers building?
So when you think of the kinds of sensors I'm referring to, you've got, for instance, some of these prototypes that we're going to give to select developers that include gyroscope, accelerometer, and they can help you track your every motion, for instance. So as a headset, remember, you're pretty much worn on the head. It means that every single move of my head can be tracked. And many new applications can be developed from this. Some of them might be extremely simple, like having an avatar or kind of really having exactly the same moves as your head, but other ones might be way more sophisticated. Think, for instance, being in European city, Amsterdam, and being in front of an old building from the 16th century. Your head orientation linked to Google Maps could actually kind of get you to link to a historical site that's going to give you voice prompts on what that building is about.
That is really cool.
As an example, again, just an illustration of this.
That's where the future is headed for you.
And that future is pretty close. I mean, we're talking about solutions that can be developed today. And again, we just wanted to make sure that we would not limit this to our own efforts. That's why PLT Labs is really opening those capabilities to the open world of third-party developers.
So you are looking at more than just phones. You're looking at the whole ecosystem of wearables. So you're looking at integrating with Google Glass, developing an API that can sync with that, perhaps?
There's definitely more than the telephony kind of space
Okay.
and the phone space. And again, the reason being that the sophistication of those sensors is just opening a new world of capabilities. So whether it's motion tracking, like the example I gave you, or whether it's kind of tracking pretty much any other kind of information, the main thing here is that those headsets or maybe the last frontier between you and the rest of the world. We are the closest to you as a wearable, and we are pretty much able to track information that other devices are not tracking. And that information, coupled with great applications, is actually creating brand new scenarios and is actually changing the way you communicate, the way you have fun, the way you play games. It's making you more productive, whatever the device you're going to use.
Right now, that's one of the only kinds you can.
Absolutely.
That's what it sounds like, at least to me.
Absolutely. And it's pretty much open now. You already have indeed this technology in your hands.
So are there any other devices you've seen out there today that are interesting to you?
I'm definitely intrigued by the number of people wearing indeed those glasses. I mean, it's amazing.
Lots.
It's amazing. Just kind of meeting, and I know we are in the heart of the technology world here, but clearly there's definitely something happening. We are all at the very beginning of a huge convergence that's going to change the way we interact with technology. It's going to get so close to us. So that's really one of the things that impressed me the most here. Those wearable technologies are definitely present technologies. They're not future technologies.
It's a technology of now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's been your favorite part of the conference today?
So far so good. I actually have indeed, we've got our own panel in something like 30 minutes. So we will definitely tell you more about the challenges and the opportunities associated to wearable technology and how companies like Plantronics have overcome some of those challenges, because sometimes it's not only about those very specific technologies like the sensors we were talking about, it's also about addressing the basics, like making people want to wear your devices. So you want them to desire to wear your device, and it means a lot of things, from industrial design to emotional connection to your users and getting them to want to wear them all day long.
Well, since our viewers aren't going to be here later today, can I get a quick 30-second blip about how you are going to convince people to wear these wearable devices?
So there are a few things, obviously, but one, it depends on your category. One is clearly related to the way you design those solutions. I mean, make them desirable as kind of solutions you want to wear. Some of them you can actually wear idle all day long. Look at this headset. I'm not using it, but it's around my neck. It's just available for me to use, and I'm going to wear it 16 hours a day. But other elements are related to how you focus on miniaturization. Make sure you find the right balance between enough power, because they need to have enough juice to last through the day, but also being as miniaturized as can be. And there are many other elements that are related to how attractive they can be. I hope you can come indeed to that session, but I gave you the gist of some of these elements that we will share a little bit later today.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for inviting me.